Hello, and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are not getting the results you are looking for from your digital marketing efforts, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. What's the good word? This is Frank Deming, the local business guy, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Before we get started with today's content, and I have a really good topic for you today, as always, but before we get started, I just want to do a couple of housekeeping. Number one, I want you guys, if you have any questions concerning any past episodes that we have put out thus far, if you have a question about a marketing technique that we have been introducing you thus far, please feel free to get in hold of us at 888-416-7752 or send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com. Reference the episode that you're talking about or the technique that you were actually concerned about, and we will reach out to you and give you the best advice possible. Again, that's 888-416-7752. Also, if you inspire to be a guest, if you have something you want to share to our listeners and you want to be a guest on our show, just follow that same process, 888-416-7752, or send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com, and we'll make sure that we'll put you on the schedule. Now, last bit of information before we get to today's topic. If you want to start your own podcast, if you've been listening to us or other podcasts and you say, man, that's kind of cool, I want to spread my message just like that, I want you guys to give Buzzsprout a chance. Buzzsprout is an awesome tool to use to start your own podcast and promote it. And the reason why I like Buzzsprout is because they give you all the tools that you need to easily spread the word and easily distribute your podcast, better said, to all of the real big players in the podcasting industry. And that's Apple Podcasts, that's Google Podcasts, that's Spotify, just to name a few. So if you are looking to start your own podcast, I really ask you guys, give Buzzsprout a shot. There's a link on the show notes here where you can click on. And when you start, if you use that link, you actually get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon, and it actually lets them know that we sent you. So Buzzsprout is the absolute best way to start a podcast. All right, folks, now for today's content. And today's content is one of my favorite topics of all time. And it's SEO, but this time I'm going to do a little twist on the SEO topic, and I'm going to add something to it. And I'm going to talk to you about video SEO. And the reason I want to talk to you about that today is because this actually came up on a conversation with one of my friends, actually. He's not a client, he's a friend of mine. And he had some specific questions about his video and why he's not getting engagement, why it's not seen, etc., etc. He says, man, I did all this work. I got the whole thing edited right. And I wrote my script for it. And then all of a sudden I just got crickets. So I said, well, just because you have a video doesn't mean it's going to work. I mean, yeah, he did some stuff. I'm over exaggerating what he did. He did do some stuff to try to get engagement, to try to get viewers, etc., etc. But it wasn't enough. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some tactics that you need to start doing in order to get your videos seen from an SEO perspective, okay? This is some secrets that I've been doing for a lot of my clients, and they've been working like gangbusters. The first thing that you have to think about is your video content and your posting. So before I go into that, let me back up a little bit. It's just, this is no different than blogging, folks. I always talk about preparation. It is no different from anything when you talk about content marketing, basically. Because what is video? Content marketing. You're producing content and you're sharing it on the internet. Except you're doing visual content. Right now, I'm producing content. This is audio content. And blogging is written content. Content is content. So, irrespective of the modality you choose to distribute your content, you have to have organization behind it. So let's get that out of the way, because everybody says, well, video is hot and no one's reading. Well, yeah, video is hot, but people are reading. Just the other day, I got this amazing. I was just looking at my stats on my Google Analytics, and some of my blogs from 2 years ago are still getting amazing traffic from it, and it all came from organization. So, and I want to talk to you about that right now, and proper SEO. But I want to give you proper SEO for video content, okay? Because there's certain things that you do the same, but there are certain things that you do different. And I want to drill down a little bit. So let's go talk about video content and posting. So, before you consider how to promote and optimize your video content, you have to, create it, first of all, right? You got to keep these tips in mind when making your next video to start off on the right foot, okay? So here are the content tips that I want you to start thinking about. Just because a video appears in a search result, that does not mean that you're going to get the view. Understand that. So you need to you need a great thumbnail image to increase the chances that viewers will hit play. As many as 90% of the best performing videos on YouTube, let's say, have custom thumbnails. So I would invest in getting some custom thumbnails done that are engaging and kind of intriguing. See, a good thumbnail entices your viewers and makes your video look appealing. If you just use a still frame from the video, you may end up with a blurry or very low resolution image. Instead, what I want you to do, I want you to take a few still photos during the filming process, so you'll have a good clear image for the thumbnail. So you can also add some text over the image just to tease the video content. You may want to do that as well. So that's one of the things that I always tell my customers, because they sometimes when we produce videos for them, they ask me, why is it that we do that? And this is the tip that I tell them. I said, this is going to entice your visitor to click. See, once they hit play, people make up their minds about your video content very quickly. Okay, see, most lost viewers abandon a video within the first 30 seconds. So you need to make those first seconds amazing. So don't save the good stuff for later in the video. That's very important. So you keep this in mind. I like to use the pattern interrupt strategy. For those of you who don't know what pattern interrupt is, it's basically if they're expecting one thing, give them something totally what they're not expecting, so that it's kind of risky, okay? But if you make it entertaining, you'll get them to stick, and then you have to easily transition them into what the content is. That's what a pattern interrupt is. And the reason why they call it a pattern interrupt is because, say the still photo is depicting something, and then when they click on it, the video has nothing to do with it. But if you're savvy and you're clever, you can easily transition them. And it's a little trick. It takes some time to do. But I just want to say what my favorite thing is a pattern interrupt to keep them engaged. Because remember, you got 30 seconds, sometimes even less. See, a higher retention rate to your own website will help your site's search rankings. So on YouTube, a better retention will mean similarly boosted rankings on your YouTube channel. So that's why you want to keep them on your videos for a long time. That's some content tips. Okay, here's some posting tips. See, whether your videos are part of a YouTube channel or posted on your own website, it's important that you release them consistently, just like your blog posts. It's very important. And here's the thing, though. It's consistency. That's all that is, consistency. I want to stress this point because you can make an amazing video. And let's say for the past, one amazing video, and then next 2 months, you did nothing, then you just wasted a great, amazing video. Now, someone would say, well, Frank, you just finished telling me, you wrote this blog post 2 years ago and you still get traffic to it. Yes, but I've been writing blog posts consistently. So they don't sleep on it. That particular blog post gets a lot of traffic because the topic is hot, but it doesn't mean that I stop writing there. That's my point. So you want to post the same number of videos each week, preferably in the same day. It's very, when people see that type, when the search engine, YouTube is a search engine. When the search engine sees that type of consistency, they're expecting this data. They're expecting it on that day. So preferably you want to do it on the same day. Not only will this make you more reliable in Google's eyes, but it will also help your viewers to know exactly when to check your site for new content. When I mean by your site, I'm talking about your YouTube site. Okay, this is all about YouTube posting right now. See, when you put the video on your website, put it on the top of the page or above the fold. If your video is, far down this page, some of your site visitors will, bounce before they even, get to reach it. So posting it in a permanent position can improve the video's play rate as well. Okay. And if your page has more than one video, make sure that the one you want to rank is first. Very key. So, because Google usually will only index one video per page. So put the best. You always want to put your best work in the prominent page. It's called a rank, and in the prominent position, it's called a rank me position. Okay, so that's one thing that's very important. So that's just some tips on content tips and posting tips. Okay, so I hope you got that. Take notes, folks. Download this episode, listen to it over and over again. But this is going to help you. Video SEO is very important, especially if SEO is important in general. But video SEO is very important, especially if you want to get into it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about subtitles and transcripts. I want to spend a little time on this one because this is another important factor that's a lot of times, like I said, I'm going to show you the right way of doing this, okay? And subtitles and transcripts are important, guys. If you want to get traffic to your video, you got to do this stuff. So as you know, I'm a numbers guy. I love percentages. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of research. And I've found out that as many as 83% of online videos are watched without sound. Okay? 83%. And that number jumps to 92% when videos are watched on mobile. Think about that. See, that's one of the reasons why subtitles and all subtitles should always be included in your videos. So without them, you'll lose a huge number of viewers who are trying to watch in a quiet place. So that's something that's key. So you should always include a video transcript. Some people may want to may want the content, but don't want to spend the time watching a video. So that's why you want to also include the transcript. See, a transcript can that they can skim will help them on basically keep them on your site, and even if they don't play the video play. So that's why you want to have the transcript. And the same thing goes to, and I know we're not talking about podcasts here, but the same thing goes with podcasts. You just want to include a transcript. Sometimes people want to read it and then just, earmark where they left off, and but that's a different strategy. So let's keep the topic. I'm sorry, guys. I digress sometimes. But the see, I have podcasts in my head. Anyway, the transcript will provide more page copy that will be indexed by the web crawlers. So that's also going to help you with that too, from an SEO perspective. So those extra instances of your keyword and on page that can help you boost the ranking for the search term. So you gotta you don't want to forget about that. So that's subtitles and transcripts. That's the important of it. Now, before I move on to the next section of what I want to talk to you about, is that you don't want to worry. You don't have to type out your subtitles and your transcripts manually. Okay, I want you to use a service like Capwing, and I will leave a link to this in the show notes. See, they auto generate your subtitles for you, and then just check them for accuracy before you upload them. Okay, but a service like Capwing is going to help you out. So that should do it. So I'll put down the show notes for you. So now let's move on to tips for just YouTube. So that's what those tips that I gave you. I know I mentioned YouTube, but most of them are just for producing the video in general. Content tips, content that you want to talk about, posting tips, how you want to post it, etc., etc. With the subtitles, etc. Now, I want to talk to you specifically about YouTube. Tips on YouTube, because and I want to spend some time here, okay? Because YouTube is the Mac Daddy of the video. Let's just face it. So let's not clown around it. So I want to teach you how to play in this space and compete with the big boys without spending a lot of money. So as you know, I've always said this: YouTube is its own animal. With specific best practices that you want to follow for visibility and engagement. And engagement is key when it comes to YouTube, because here's the beauty of YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. But what is YouTube as well? YouTube is a social site. Okay, so you think about that. It's a combination of best of both worlds. You've got, basically Facebook and Google wrapped in one. So if you like to cross post your videos to YouTube as well as your own site, I want to show you some things that you want to keep in mind. Okay, you want to keep in mind keyword research because, as I said, it is a search engine. See, you need to do YouTube specific keyword research rather than general keyword research. See, because people search for different things on YouTube than in the search engine. To see what people are looking for, you can type a basic keyword into YouTube search field and see a list of topic suggestions. So this is an invaluable tool that you want that will provide you with key insights into a common YouTube search. Okay. However, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get a free Chrome extension. If you're using Chrome as your browser, there's a free Chrome extension called TubeBuddy. And they're going to help you find out what tags your competitors are ranking for. Okay? So I want to try to create a better content. So I want you to try to create better content for those tags to snag some of some of their views. So if you know what tags they're ranking for, you can now write videos and make sure that your transcripts and all these and all your tags have those keywords in there, and you can basically siphon, if you will, some of your competitors' traffic that way. That's a little ninja trick there. So remember that's TubeBuddy. It's an extension. Okay. Let's see. You want to add cards and end screens. So cards and end screens can encourage engagement with your YouTube videos as well as promote your other video content. So cards, through adding a card throughout your video content on YouTube to get viewers to take action, basically. So cards can link to your website. Cards can to other videos, or you can also ask a question or a poll to your audience just for engagements. Okay, and that's what you use cards for. So you can ask for example, stuff like what kind of content viewers would be like to see in the future. Ask them, engage. Hey, I hope so. I'll give you an example. You can close your video or somewhere in the video say, hey, I hope you like what you're hearing so far. What kind of content that you would like to see in the future. I just want to get you, just so I give you the right stuff. Things like that. Kind of like when I start my podcast, I always say, hey, is a topic that you want to talk about? You could give us a call. It's kind of like that, but this is for YouTube or videos in general. End screens appear in the last sections of your video, and it can send viewers to your other videos or show a big subscribe button. So you want that as well. This is all about getting more and more viewers or possible viewers. So you want to use these tools to keep viewers engaged and encourage to them watch more and more and more. Eventually, these folks will purchase from you, whether it's a service, a product, etc., etc. And these are all ninja tricks that work tremendously well for our customers. Let's talk about YouTube search optimization. Okay, let's dive in here. So, just like videos posted, elsewhere, you want to release videos regularly and include an interesting custom thumbnail. Okay, outside, like we talked about earlier. So when you upload your video, make sure that you fill out all the fields entirely with a focus on the keyword that you research with TubeBuddy. or any other keyword research tool that you want to use. I'm just giving you a suggestion here. Start with a keyword optimized video title. So make sure that the keyword is on the title. You want to choose a few applicable tags that you got, okay, and then including your keyword as well, and choose an appropriate category within YouTube. So when you're in YouTube, they ask you for a category. So just make sure that the category makes sense to what you have, okay? In a description box, I want you to write a few hundred words to help YouTube understand the purpose of your video. I want to pause here for a second because I've seen some great videos. And then when I look at the description box, there's like 2 or 3 words. And I'm exaggerating, but it's very little. That's not cool. You just wasted an awesome video and you're not going to be found. So a great video, you're not found. You just did yourself a disservice. Just like writing a great blog and not do your keyword research and you never get found. So let's make sure that in the description box you want to write a few hundred words to help YouTube understand the purpose of the video. See, if you have links or a CTA, you want users to see them above the fold. So make sure if you have any kind of link, make sure it's something that they don't have to scroll down to see. Okay, so you have to have it before the viewers. You know how YouTube has this thing that says "See More" button. You want to make sure that the link is before the "See More" button, because you want them to know that there is a link. Okay, unless you want to in the video you're going to describe, hey, scroll for more. I mean, you can do that too, but remember, a lot of people don't actually see the video. They're watching stuff and maybe reading the transcript. They may miss that. So put the link there. The link is it's something it's an attention getting mechanism. So you don't want to, I wouldn't mess with that. Okay. So I want you to upload the subtitles and the transcript as well. There's a section for that on YouTube. The additional copy will contribute to the overall word count and the ranking, and ranking for optimization. So I don't want you to rely on YouTube's automatic subtitling. Don't do that. So use the tool that I suggested. Because the YouTube one, it just has a lot of errors, and it's going to competition's fierce. Okay, it's going to turn off your visitor, and you want to do stuff right. And I'm giving you the proper tool. So just invest in the tool, and learn it, or give it to someone to learn it, and you should be good to go. For those of you who if you forgot, it's called Capwing, and I'm going to put a link on the show notes. All right, so let's talk about some video sharing tips. So we've uploaded the videos. We're ready to rock and roll. We've done your keyword research. We're ready. So let's talk about some sharing tips, because I believe in paid advertising, of course, but let's say if you're on a budget and you want to try some stuff out, let's think about how you want to share this. So once your videos are complete and uploaded in to your website or YouTube, let's say, I want to promote them. So the most obvious way to share them is using social media. You want to use things like Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn. Those 3 get a lot of video views. Okay, but there are more places that you can actually promote your video content. So send a simple. You can also send a simple email newsletter to your list promoting your video. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. Okay, so I want you to think about all the resources that you have. Just some enthusiastic text that's explaining, what what your new video is about. Now, here's important. Don't forget to explain how the video content will help the viewer. Okay. So when you do a newsletter, make sure that you have in that blurb how that content's going to help them. Okay. It's all about them. Always remember that. And then you can also embed your video in relevant blog posts. So if you have a blog post that talks about anything remotely close to what the video is, you could embed that video in that blog post. Okay. And this will also help the blogs perform even better because you have video on it. So another good option to share your video is on Quora. I spoke to you about Quora. I love that place. Quora is a great social site. It could be, you can post it on Quora as an answer to a relevant question, let's say. So that's another good way of sharing it. So these are sharing things without even having to pay for anything. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do, because a lot of you guys are either not doing video at all, or if you're doing it, you're not doing it correctly. I want you to give video a chance, because here's the deal. A well-optimized video can perform incredibly well, but there is more competition than ever right now, as I said before. So if you're going to invest the time and the money into video marketing, you want to give your videos the best chance of getting results from following the tips I just laid out. So I want you guys to really try this. And not only that, I want to engage with you guys. I want to hear some stories of what you've, if you have any challenges, reach out to the office, 888-416-7752, or send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com. Okay. If you're having challenges, or if you're just looking for some tips, if there was something that I mentioned on this episode that you're not sure about, again, just reach out to us. I really want to help you. Video is becoming more and more important, and I'm telling you, over the years, it's going to become even more important. I've seen so much videos happen now due to the pandemic than ever before. And now it was going to happen like this irrespective of the pandemic. I'm not going to put COVID on this, because this was heading that path anyway. But the pandemic has kind of expedited its progress. So I just want you guys to be successful. I want you guys to look at this thing and, look at it in the eye, take the bull by the horn and do it. If you have any questions about this or any other episodes, you know how to reach us. So until next time, folks, this has been Frank Deming, the local business guy. I hope you got a lot out of this episode, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, and bye for now. Peace out, everyone.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. Don't forget, any links that were mentioned during the broadcast will be available to you in the show notes, so be sure to grab them while you have the chance. Incidentally, if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss on the show, be sure to send an email to the email provided in the show notes, or click the Contact Us link and let us know what topic you would like us to help you with, and we'll be sure to add it to our schedule. If you would like for Frank and his team to look at your digital marketing presence and give you a free evaluation, simply click the Request a Free Consultation link in the show notes to get a hold of them. That being said, until our next episode, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.